Kia ora. As we head through the rest of Wednesday afternoon, high pressure sits down towards the south of us, low pressure on the other side of the country, and between the two we'll have this front. Now this lingers across those northern parts of New Zealand, bringing some heavy rainfall in towards Northland, but you can see for the rest of the country things generally are a little bit more settled. We'll keep hold of that easterly feed of air, and that will keep hold of more cloud on these eastern coasts of both the North and the South Island, but some clearer skies further in towards the west before we reach that heavy rain up through Northland. As we head in towards the night time, you'll see there's very little change in how things are set up. We'll continue to keep hold of that cloudier sky on the eastern coast, while this front slowly meanders across the far north. And that's pretty much the story as we go through in towards Thursday as well. A fairly static setup with not an awful lot of change through the day. We'll find these showers continue to feed in towards that eastern coast, perhaps a bit of clearer sky returning towards the eastern side of the South Island later on. And eventually this front will bring a touch more cloud in towards Westland by the end of the day. But the main activity will be across those far northern parts of New Zealand, and we have got some severe weather watches and warnings in place. In fact, generally for that area north of Whangarei, we'll find a heavy rain warning and a severe thunderstorm watch in place right the way through to about 10 AM on Thursday, with that rain piling in through there with some pretty intense downpours possible as well. The heaviest rainfall likely about these eastern coasts north of, say, the Bay of Islands. So a pretty unsettled story up in the far north there, but for the rest of us things are generally looking a little bit quieter. In terms of our temperatures, coolest as you'd expect down south with some clearer skies through parts of Southland and Otago. Temperatures back down towards freezing, and I think generally lows around about 6 degrees Celsius at the coolest for the North Island. On in towards Thursday, you can see we'll keep hold of this wet weather filing in towards those northern parts of New Zealand. More cloud around this eastern coast and some showers for parts of Wairarapa, Hawke's Bay and Tairāwhiti, and a few of those showers creeping around the top of the high in towards particularly the eastern coasts of the Coromandel and perhaps those eastern coasts of the Auckland region as well. But generally dry and clear once any early morning mist and fog has cleared away from the valleys of, say, Wanganui. But it looks to be a pretty decent story on that western side of the North Island, with some drier and brighter conditions until we reach that heavy rainfall up in the north there. In terms of our temperatures, highs of about 15 degrees Celsius up in the north, a little bit cooler than it has been through there, and around about 12s and 13s as we head down towards, say, Palmerston North and in towards Wellington. Down on the South Island, we'll start off with those cloudier skies through Marlborough and Canterbury. A fine looking day for most of Nelson, but I think we are going to find that cloud perhaps pushing in later on. Generally down that western coast, the best of the brightness will be first thing. A pretty decent looking day as well through parts of Southland and Otago. Again, a few pockets of early morning mist and fog. They should clear away, and some better, brighter weather there. This cloud will thicken up on the western coast as we head through and towards the afternoon, while we find some brighter skies returning towards those more inland parts of Canterbury. As we head through the day, we'll always find it just a bit more reluctant to get rid of that cloud right on the coast there. So for places like Christchurch, areas of cloud on and off through the daytime, and still with that risk of perhaps a little bit of patchy rain or drizzle. In terms of our temperatures, highs in Christchurch, 11 degrees Celsius, 9s down in Invercargill, and up to about 14 or so for Westport and Nelson. As we go through in towards, let's say, Friday, you can see we'll keep hold of that low pressure. It's not far away, and this front still stays pretty close towards those northern parts of the country. Still some showers in towards Northland. What we'll find around the eastern side of the North Island should start to peter out, and we'll be left with some brighter weather by the end of the day, and eventually more cloud creeping across that western side of the South Island. But it should slowly be an improving story up north. That's it from me. There's more at metservice.com.